Nur Afrina.
Ada, sir.
Nur Aida.
Saya, sir.
Nur Aina Najibah.
Ada, sir.
Nur Fagira.
Ada, sir.
Fagira mana? Ada pun. Shazlin.
Ada, sir.
Nurin.
Ada, sir.
Sabrina.
Ada, sir.
Rauzah.
Ada, sir.
Syamira.
Ada, sir.
Siti Aisyah. Siti Aisyah mana? Siti Aisyah binti Kamarudin. Dia tak WhatsApp saya ni.
Ada, sir. Line dia slow.
Nampak. Okey. Okey, nampak kat situ. Ya. Okay, alright. So, next one sebelum kita pergi pada yang ni, kita tengok lesson plan . Kita tengok macam biasa, kejap saya nak share. Apa WhatsApp saya ni? Oh, okay. Alright. Kejap saya nak share. Oh, lupa saya nak tekan record. Record on this computer, record to the cloud.
This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, alright. So for this week, which is week 8, week 9, okay. Macam mana nak buka? Okay, alright. Week 9, awak nampak ke saya punya ni? Do you see the lesson plan?
Nampak.
Okay, so sekarang ni if you look over here, kita recap balik kan. Bukan dah lama. Last week kita buat kelas tak? Tak ada kan? And then this week, because we ahead. Okay, for your information, because we ahead. What means that we ahead? Okay, if you look over here, our lesson plan, week 2, coastal protection. This one I cover on our second week. Okay, week 3 also coastal protections. Week 4, dredging land reclamations, including river kan? Dredging land reclamation and river. And then week 5 and week 6 for harbour, port and jetty. Week 7, week 8 offshore, onshore. We already done cover on that. And then week 9 ni river, betul tak? Sekarang ni topik untuk apa? River ke? River ke dah masuk?
Sekarang river dah masuk, sir. Sekarang
Dah present dah?
Dah.
Dah present dah. So week 10 per river. Okay? So sekarang ni this week we go for maintenance for plant equipment dengan reliability center maintenance for marine civil structure. So for this week kita betul tak?
Yes.
Minggu ni kita ada 2 topik . Minggu ni hari ni kita ada 2 topik, which is maintenance for plant equipment dengan reliability center maintenance, ataupun for the short form we call it SRCM structure. Okay, before we proceed further, for information, yang awak nampak week 11 ni, this one is the maintenance for plant and equipment. Maintenance, bagaimana nak maintenance plant equipment. Sebagai contoh, plant and equipment ni, awak kata ada dredging machine, ada onshore equipment, ada offshore equipment. Yang tu kita panggil plant and equipment. Bagaimana nak maintain. Untuk yang number 12 is maintenance untuk structure. Sebagai contoh, structure tu macam mana? Awak nak maintenancekan dia untuk port, untuk jetty, dia punya maintain, dia punya structure tu. Structure tu tak kisah whether it is a structure made from the steel ke, ataupun structure tu made daripada concrete ke, reinforcement ke. Tapi yang tu bagaimana? So they are different . The first one is maintenance for equipment, lagi satu maintenance untuk structure. Okay, untuk structure. So if you look over here, we are ahead about 3 weeks kan, lebih kurang 2 minggu, 3 minggu kita ahead kan. So tak apa, bagus lah. It's a bagus because of what? Kita ada masa to conduct revision. We have the time to conduct revisions and then to do exercise, to do the tutorials. Okay. And then okay. So probably you kata, sir, untuk next week what we're going to do? Okay, means that after you mid semester break, what we're going to do is for the next week we're going to do the revision. Maksud dia selepas ni kita masuk kelas, kita buat revision, buat final exam sehingga awak boleh buat final exam dalam tempoh 3 jam dan awak dapat A. Selagi awak tak dapat A, selagi itulah saya tak lepaskan awak. Macam itulah dia. Dah nampak kita punya formation ni? Dah nampak kita punya perancangan ni? Okay, so untuk for today, we go for plant equipment maintenance and then we go for maintenance for the marine structure. Okay, I will stop sharing. Dah ke? Saya dah stop ke? Saya dah stop ke belum? Dah Okay, alright. So without further ado, the first group, maintenance for plant, you may start your slides. And then make sure semua di group ni, yang 2 group ni dah ada ni pasti exam questions sekali dengan answer dengan quiz atau Q&A. Okay, you may start your presentation.
Good morning and Assalamualaikum everyone.
Nick Nur, bergemalah Nick Nur Dini. How come? Maybe you buka 2 device kot at the same time.
So,
Cakap.
good morning and Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Nina Dina Mani and this is my groupmate, which is Alia, Sabrina, Ain Najiba, and Hirwina Azara. And today we will be presenting on a topic that is very important in the field of civil and marine engineering, which is plant and equipment and maintenance for marine and civil engineering structures. Now, so what exactly is maintenance? Simply out, it's all the work done to keep or restore a building or its component to a good and safe condition so that it can perform the way it's supposed to. According to BS 3811 standard, maintenance means returning something to a condition where it can function properly. This can include small things like changing a light bulb or big things like repairing part of a roof. It's not just about fixing something when it breaks, but also preventing it from breaking in the first place. For the objective, the first one is to ensure the building and their associated service are in a safe condition. This must be maintained properly to prevent danger or accident to occupant and public. If we ignore a small issue, they can lead to serious accident or injuries. The second one is to ensure the building are fit for use. It function as intended, comfortable and suitable for the purpose it was built. For example, a building with broken air conditioning or faulty plumbing is very uncomfortable for users. The third one is to ensure that the condition of the building meets all statutory requirements, to make sure that building follows all legal rules and safety standards set by government and local authorities. Next, to maintain the value of the building stocks. It's mean keeping the building in good condition so that its market value does not decrease over time. The last one is the maintain or improve the quality of the building when the building stay in good condition and making upgrade when needed to meet modern standard and users expectation. Next is cause of defect. The first one is it can start from the design stage, which is lack of design. Poor or incomplete building design can cause structural problems with the water leakage and safety issues. Next, details of workmanship. If the construction work is done poorly or carelessly, it can lead to crack, loose fittings, or uneven surface. Next is wear and tear. Normal damage over time due to the frequent use or for aging materials. which is a normal over time, and natural causes like soft movement, which can affect the foundation. Next is soil movement. Shifting ground or weak soil can crack walls or damage foundations. Next, vandalism. Deliberate damage by people such as breaking door, graffiti, or damaging fittings. Next is weather or natural deterioration. Exposure to sun, rain, wind, and humidity can cause fading, rusting, and cracking. Next is misuse. Using a building or its facility in wrong way, causing damage. The last one is lack of maintenance. Not facing small issue early cause bigger and more costly problem. This is a example defect at house. The first one is roof. The roof is missing or broken ties and exposed timber framing. This type this type of defect can lead to water ingress, damaging the internal structure. Preventive maintenance such as regular roof inspections and replacing damaged ties can avoid costly repairs. The next one is plumbing defect. Uh, we can see that there's a leaking pipe with water visible pouring out. The maintenance application indicates a failure in the drainage water system, possibly due to poor installation or corrosion. Require corrective maintenance to repair or replace damaged pipe. The next is wall. The wall cracks and surface deterioration could stem from structural movement, stallment, or material aging. Must be monitored under condition-based maintenance routine to identify whether it's cosmetic or structural. The next is finishing. The plaster around the window and surface were worn out. Typically, a result of weather exposure or poor initial workmanship. It falls under cyclical maintenance, plain tasks like repainting or plaster repair. The last one is floor. The floor looks broken tiles and exposed ground surface. It's unsafe for occupants, may indicate underlying moisture or ground movement. It needs routine inspection and surface maintenance to ensure safety and usability. For the agent defect, there are also certain agents or factors that speed up the damage. The first one is dampness, caused by water seeping through walls, floor, or ceiling. For example, when water seeps into wall, it can cause mold or even rot to the structure. The second one is biological agent. It includes mold, fungi, algae, moss, and termites, the damaged materials over time. The next is heat. High temperature can also expand material, causing cracks or wrapping. Next, weather. For example, rain, wind, humidity, and UV rays accelerate wear and damages external surface. The next, air pollution. Chemicals, gases, and dust in the air can corrode surface and reduce material lifespan. The next is fire. Can cause serious damage to the structure, finishes, and build system in a building. The last one is human. Um, whenever through careless or intentional vandalism can all cause harm to the building. Now let's understand two important ideas behind maintenance. The first one is predictable problems. There are issues we expect to happen over time like paint fading or roof tile wearing out. Since we know they will happen, we can plan ahead. That is predictable. For the second one is avoidable. These are things that could have been prevented be prevent if small issue were fixed. For example, if a small crack is ignored, it might grow into a structural failure. So good maintenance means acting before things get worse, not just reacting after damage is done. Okay. For the classification, we can divide maintenance into two main types, which planned and unplanned. Planned maintenance is work that is scheduled in advance. It done regularly based on time or equipment conditions. Why do we plan maintenance? To avoid breakdown, reduce risk, improve safety, and extend the lifespan of the building or equipment. This include things like monthly inspection, filter replacement, or schedule repairs, all done before a failure happens. Okay, Plant maintenance can be broken down further into two types, which is the first one is corrective maintenance. This happens after a problem is discovered. For example, if a pipe is leaking, we fix it to restore normal function. The second one is preventive maintenance. This is done before something breaks. It's like getting your car serviced regularly so it doesn't break down on the highway. Preventive maintenance saves times and money in the long run because it helps avoid emergency repairs. The next is preventive maintenance can also be divided into two strategies. The first is routine or schedule based maintenance. These are regularly tasks done every day, week, or month, no matter what. For example, checking emergency light or cleaning air filters. The second is condition based maintenance. This is more advanced. We use inspection or monitoring tools to check the real condition of equipment. If something is starting to wear out, then we do the maintenance. These methods are efficient because we don't waste time or money doing unnecessary repairs. Okay, now let's talk about unplanned maintenance. This is when something breaks down unexpectedly and we need to fix it immediately. Sometimes this is called emergency maintenance. For example, when a major pipe bursts or the power system fails. This type maintenance is usually more expensive and more stressful because we didn't plan for it. It can also lead to longer downtime for safety risks if not handled quickly. The last one is type of maintenance. Servicing. These are regular, simple tasks to keep everything running well. For example, checking air conditioning or testing fire alarms. Second is rectification. This means fixing small problems early, like sealing cracks or tightening loose door hinges. The third is replacement. When something is beyond repair, we replace it completely. For example, broken ties or faulty switches. The last one is renovation. This involves upgrading or modernizing parts of building to improve appearance, functionality, or value. Okay, I will pass to Ain.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Aina Najibah. Okay, for my slide is about categories of maintenance. First, we have public access and areas and specific feature such as shop windows, entrance doors, and electrical signage. These elements are often the first thing people notice. People notice, so it is important they are clean, functional, and well maintained. Routine cleaning, both inside and outside of the building, play a main role. Regular cleaning not only improve appearance, but also support hygiene and safety. Next, on the main fabric of the building, including wall, floors, roof, and windows, these structural components require ongoing inspection, timely repairs, and redecoration to ensure they are stay in a good condition. Maintenance finishes like paint, plaster, tiling, and flooring needs regular maintenance, redecoration, and minor repairs help maintain a comfortable and attractive indoor environment. for all occupants. Lastly, we have engineering service such as electrical system, HVAC, and security system. These systems are crucial for functionality and safety. Their maintenance requires specialist knowledge and should follow a plan inspection schedule. Okay, next, Dini. Okay, maintenance activities in building can generally be divided into two categories based on the scale of the work, which is large scale and small scale. Large scale maintenance work involves tasks that require a high level of skill and experience. These jobs are typically carried out entirely by skilled workers. For example, including major repairs or replacement of building element and service. On the other hand, small-scale maintenance work may not require full-time skilled worker. In this case, part of job is handled by the skilled worker, and while other jobs are handled by external contractor, also known as a contract service. This approach is cost-effective and flexible, especially for routine and minor repair. What is maintenance cost? Maintenance cost is including everything spent to preserve the building's functionality, appearance, and safety. These costs are divided into two categories, which is direct and indirect. Direct maintenance costs involve the actual expenses needed to carry out maintenance activities. This include cost labor, cost material, and cost equipment. While indirect maintenance costs are less obvious but equally important, these include cost administration, cost overhead, and cost penalty. The maintenance cost formula can be represented with a simple formula, which is maintenance cost equal to direct maintenance cost plus maintenance cost. Direct maintenance cost equal to cost labor plus cost maintenance plus cost equipment, while direct maintenance cost is equal to cost administration plus cost overhead and plus cost penalty. Next. Next, okay. When it comes to budget for building maintenance, there are different methods used to calculate and manage costs. So the first one is the fixed periodic cost method, the most widely used in maintenance contract. Under this method, the contractor is paid a predetermined fixed fee, which is usually set on a monthly, quarterly, or annually basis, regardless of how much work is actually done during that period. This method comes into two forms, which is uncontrolled input and controlled input. For uncontrolled input, the contractor delivers the required service for a fixed cost, but there is no tracking how much labor, material, and equipment is used. This approach offers simplicity but limits transparency. While controlled input, the contractor is still paid a fixed amount, but the contract defines a minimum level of input, such as workers' hour. This provides more control and ensure a basic service standard. The second one is a management fee. This method is used when the client wants to maintain control over the workforce and resource. Here, the client supplies all labor, material, tools, and equipment, while the contractor provides management service. This service include planning and scheduling of work, supervising the client's maintenance staff, quality control, and performance monitoring. As you can see, there are a few advantages and disadvantages for management fees. Ini next. Okay, the third one is cost plus percentage profit basis. In this method, the contractor is reimbursed for all contract costs incurred, such as labor, material, and equipment. On top of this cost, the contractor receives a percentage-based profit, which is calculated as a there. As you can see, there are few advantage and disadvantage for cost plus percentage profit basis. Align. Okay, lastly, cost plus fixed fee basis. This approach is similar to the cost plus model, but instead of earning a percentage profit, the contractor is paid a fixed management fee on top of the actual cost incurred. Okay. Ini next. Okay. Using contract service for building maintenance offers several key benefits that can improve efficiency and reduce the client's workload. The first one is reduce administrative burden. Second one, attraction of skilled worker, higher efficiency and equality, quick emergency response, scalability without hiring, no capital invest in equipment, which is contractor bring their own specialized tools and machinery, so client don't have to invest in expensive equipment or worry about storage and maintenance. Okay, next, ini. While contract service offer many disadvantages, it is important to consider their disadvantage. Here are the common disadvantage, which is high cost for limited service, reduced control over workforce, loss of operational control, poor quality supervision, lack of performance penalty. In many cases, contract do not include strong penalty for poor performance. If the contractor underperformance, the only real option might be terminating the contract, which is disruption. Okay, the last one is use of low quality material. I think that's all for me. The next one I will pass it to Sabrina. Thank you.
Okay, hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Sabrina. So next is maintenance policy framework. So when we think about the building maintenance, most of the people imagine that it's only a start after the constructions. But in reality, maintenance is something that should be planned for the very beginning. So it is part of entire of the building life cycle. As you can see there, the cycle includes the preliminary stage, design, construction stage, maintenance stage, and refurbishment. At each of these stages, maintenance policy should be taken into the account. For the example, during the design stage, architect and engineer should choose material and a system that are easy to maintain. Okay, during the construction, maybe builders need to follow the specifications correctly to avoid future maintenance issues. Then during the maintenance stage, these policies help guide how to care the building efficiently. So for the final is refurbishment. This stage are where older buildings are upgraded, and this is also required smart planning. By having a clear maintenance policy from the start, so that we can reduce long-term costs and prevent any damage, and make sure the building is last long. Okay, next slide. Okay, the technology information system are divided into three parts, which is maintenance manual, maintenance program, and maintenance record system. So next, we go for maintenance manual. Okay, as you can see here, a maintenance manual is a detailed document that acts as a guidebook for the maintenance team. So it's contain everything that workers need to know in order to take care of the building. So as you can see there, the formal document used in facilities and asset management that provide all the essential information, procedures and policies required to maintain the building system. It is also a guide for maintenance team to ensure the system and structure are well preserved, function efficiently, and have a long service life. So why the maintenance manual important? Because it helps guide maintenance staff to do tasks correctly and safely. So next, ensure consistent, meaning everyone does the work the same proper way. Next is reduce downtime by enabling timely preservative maintenance, because it's if staff follow instruction properly, things are less likely to break. Next is supporting training. Supporting training, especially for new staff, so they don't have to start from the zero. So all the purpose of the maintenance is help the building meet safely regulation and warranty conditions. As you can see at the middle point, the content of the maintenance manual. So here we have drawing. These include layout plans and diagrams to help the workers locate system and component. So we have description of plan and equipment and their manufacturer's operation and maintenance recommendation. So also we have guarantee and maintenance service contract term for the equipment or plan by the suppliers and manufacturer. Next, we have addresses and telephone number of spare parts suppliers and repair contractor to equipment for equipment and plans. And simple things like job specification, organizational structure, and safety policies and procedure. So who prepare the maintenance manual? So actually, we usually prepare by consultant in collaboration with contractors and equipment supplier. Also delivered to the client or building owner upon completion of the project. So what is the advantages of the maintenance manual? As you can see there, standardized of maintenance activity, improve training, better planning, efficiency efficient spare part management, reduce equipment failure, and enhance safety compliance. Also, cost saving. Okay, next slide. Okay, this is next. This is maintenance program. Okay, maintenance program is a structured plan that outlines how, and what kind of the maintenance stock need to be performed on the building, facilities, equipment, and system to ensure it remain in optimal working condition, safe to use, and cost efficiency over the lifetime. As you can see there, it's answer for 4 fundamental questions, like what to be maintained, like what need to be maintained, like HVAC system, lighting, or fire alarms, and how it to be maintained. How do we maintain it? Like what action are we needed? And next, when should it be maintained? What should it be maintained, like daily, monthly, or annually? Yeah. And who is responsible for the maintenance? So which is a worker or department. Okay. So types of maintenance program is there's 3 types of maintenance plan, which is annual maintenance, monthly, and major maintenance. So annual maintenance, a big picture of the what will be maintained throughout the years. It's help the budget planning. Monthly maintenance plan, more details and help us assign tasks every month, like each of the months. And for the less major maintenance plans, it's cover high cost or large scale repair and upgrade. For example, generator overhaul and elevator system upgrade. So the purpose of the maintenance program is prevent system failure or breakdown and extend the life of equipment facilities, ensure safety and compliance with regulations, optimize performance, and reduce repair costs. Also allocate resources like staff, tools, and budget efficiently. Next. Okay, the benefit of the maintenance program, just not so different with the purpose. So reduce emergency repair costs, improve asset lifespan, enhance safety, provide a structured workflow, and ensure compliance with warranty or statutory requirements. So who prepare and then implement it? Typically developed by the maintenance department. With input from the facility managers, engineer, and sometimes external consultant. Also, implementation involve maintenance supervisor, technicians, and sometimes outsourced contractor. So types of maintenance activity in the program, which is routine maintenance. Some routine maintenance, some simple things like cleaning and checking lights, regularly and day-to-day update tasks. Next is preventive maintenance, done before things break, and like services aircon regularly. And next is corrective maintenance, like fixing something that has already broken. So predictive maintenance uses monitoring tools to predict failure before it's happened. For example, vibration analysis or machineries. So the last one is special project like major repairs and upgrade outside regular schedule, like for example, roof replacement. Okay. The next. Okay, next is maintenance record system. As you can see there, a maintenance record system is systematic method of documenting, storing, and tracking all maintenance activity carried out on building equipment or facilities. It serves as a central source of information to help with planning, scheduling, monitoring, and evaluating maintenance work. Also, it helps ensure maintenance work is properly carried out and costs are controlled and documented. Equipment performance and reliability are tracked over time. So what is the purpose? Is verify the maintenance has been completed, track the maintenance costs for budgeting and financial control, plan future maintenance based on past performance and trend, support warranty and compliance claims with evidence to upkeep, evaluate maintenance performance for continuous improvement, and provide historical data for decision making and asset management. Next. Okay, let's look at some important components of the record system. So operators daily memo. So list what tasks are designed for each day. So next, job request form that used to report emergency jobs like leaking pipe or broken door. Next is preventive maintenance checklist. Next is monthly unit record to help monitor what was done each month and how much it is cost. So next is preventive maintenance checklist to ensure schedule maintenance is not missed. And next is work in progress file, check jobs that are not yet finished. And prepare parts inventory, like keep record of spare parts used and what needs to restocking. And for the last asset register, a full list of equipment that needs maintained with service history. So what is the benefit? Okay, there's some benefits.
Mungkin this one you boleh skip, benefit ni skip.
Okay. Okay, next. From the 3 parts of the maintenance, I state the example case like the world's tallest building that never sleeps, which is Burj Khalifa. So did you know Burj Khalifa had take 3 months to clean the window, just to clean the outside glass. And then there have 2,900 stairs to maintain. So can you imagine? Next, special cooling system. Because of the extreme heat in Dubai, the Burj uses custom building cooling system with its own water recycling. It's produced about 15 million gallons of water per year, which is reused for air conditioning and landscaping. So next is high technology maintenance. The building has robotic arms attached to the outside called BMUS building maintenance units that help clean the glass of the higher floor. These are like mini cranes and move along special tracks. Thank you. Next, I will give to Helena.
Thank you, Sabrina. Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Hilwina Azara, and let's dive into the building topic with me. So, what about building? What are the maintenance for building services or plant and equipment? As you know, everything in our house need maintenance. So it is the same for the other building as well. Okay, next. Okay, so there are many maintenance that need to be done to building to ensure its smooth operation. So I will explain on major common types of building maintenance only. There are three classifications of building services, which are first, mechanical system that have HVAC systems, site drainage, gas supply, and plumbing. And second, the electrical system that have electrical power, lighting, and auxiliary like telephone, data, audio, and video sound. And the last one is building operation system that have transportation like elevators and escalator, and also building operation like automation. So next. So these are common maintenance, so there are 5 common maintenance strategy. So first one is curative or breakdown maintenance. It also known as reactive maintenance. The strategy is to fix the equipment only after it breaks down. It also most basic form of maintenance. It usually used for non-critical equipment when the cost of downtime is low. For example, let's take example like aircon in our class suddenly stop working. So the maintenance activity may involve like repairing aircons, restoring or replacement of any component in aircon. So the effect when aircon in our class suddenly break down is it gives disruption to building occupants, like it will disrupt our class, and then we will feel the discomfort because it is hot, and then there will be emergency repair costs. So it will result into longer downtime because it suddenly break down, increase damage to other components, and also higher long-term costs due to the emergency repairs. Second is routine maintenance or preventative maintenance. As the name suggests, it is a time-based strategy where equipment is serviced at regular intervals regardless of its current condition. It has routine, which means it has schedule. Maybe once in 3 months or in 6 months, the maintenance need to be done. The goal is to prevent breakdowns before they occur. Under this equipment maintenance strategy, replacing, overhauling, or manufacturing an item is done at the fixed interval regardless of its condition at the time. For example, lift. Scheduled servicing of all lift, which means every 3 months, all lift will be checked and serviced if necessary. Even the lift seems fine and looks like functioning. So this strategy normally can be expensive process, but it needs to be done because some prevention is necessary, especially when it comes to safety of people. Okay, third, condition-based maintenance or CBM. It have a more advanced maintenance approach compared the other two. The repairs are done on the actual condition of equipment because it use technology to monitor equipment to predict the potential failure, and this be done by using predictive technologies like vibration analysis, thermography, or ultrasonic testing. For example, sensors that install on a building's chiller plant to monitor vibration level. So the sensor will trigger when it detects abnormal vibration from the chiller. Then it means the maintenance need to be done. So this approach will help to reduce unnecessary maintenance, prevent sudden equipment failure, and also optimize spare part and labor usage. Okay, next. Fourth we have proactive maintenance, which is a more advanced strategy than CBM method. So this strategy, it aims to identify and fix the equipment failure before it happens. And not only that, it also eliminates the root cause of the failure. So this strategy involves precision installation, training for operators, regular root cause analysis, and monitoring system performance trend. For example, there is pump failure happening due to overheating. So instead of replacing the pump repeatedly, this strategy will trace the root cause. Let's say the root cause for this problem is poor ventilation, poor ventilation and inadequate load handling. So we fix the design, and then when the design is improved, it will avoid this problem from happening again. So the main goal for this strategy is to extend the life of equipment and to achieve optimal reliability and efficiency. So the last one is outstanding for maintenance. It is a practice of hiring on external services provider to manage and perform maintenance activities for an organization. So this involves contracting professional services provider to handle a part or all of the maintenance activities. For example, a shopping mall enter the contracts with third-party firm to manage all fire safety system. So this strategy allows company to access specialist skill, modern tools, and maintenance expertise that may not be available in-house. So the benefit for this strategy is better performance and efficiency, cost control and predictable maintenance budget, and also performance-based contract and service level agreement. Okay, next. So I have simplified all the examples that I explained before. So you can refer this table for your better understanding. Okay, next. So now let's see the past year exam question. This is from February 2022, question 1B, which is the first question. It asks to explain about 3 common maintenance words. So the answer is next. Dini next. Okay. Next, the answer is preventative maintenance, CBM, and then curative maintenance. Okay. For the second question, next. It asks what the appropriate maintenance management system that can be adopted by the port to keep the facilities running. So the answer is preventative maintenance program, and then maintenance record system. So that's all from me.
Okay, alright. Sebelum we go for quizzes, okay, ada quiz kan? Q&A. Okay. Go back to the questions. Okay, question number 1. Okay, back to the questions. Okay, maintenance, support and facilities are essential in maintenance. So there are 2 questions. The first one, dia tanya what are the 3 common maintenance words? Itu number 1. Number 2, apa appropriate maintenance management system? Okay, for these 2 questions, B1 and B2, you go for the answer B1 first, 3 common maintenance work. Okay, awak letak preventive, condition based and corrective maintenance. Okay, student, kalau awak menjawab ni, 3 common maintenance work, awak letak preventive, corrective dengan ataupun CBM, jawapan dia betul. You boleh dapat full marks. 10% ni, 10 markah ni boleh dapat betul. Okay, discuss 3 common maintenance work. Untuk menjawab soalan ni, dia minta 3. Kawan awak bagi preventive, condition and corrective. Ataupun you nak bagi jawapan lain, awak pergi naik atas. Naik. Bawah. Awak boleh explain yang ada 5 kat sini. Breakdown maintenance, preventive, condition based, proactive maintenance and outsource maintenance. So yang ni adalah strategi. The questions dia nak minta 3. Kalau awak bagi yang salah satu tadi kan, macam student tadi bagi 3, kalau awak nak explain benda lain daripada 5 ni pun boleh. Betul. Okay? Betul. So breakdown maintenance, preventive maintenance, condition based maintenance, proactive maintenance and outsource maintenance. Yang ni adalah jawapan bagi question number 1. Back to the question number 1. Yang ni 3 common maintenance works ni. Dia minta 3 tapi jawapan dia ada 5. Okay, clear Kita nak pergi soalan kedua. Question number 2. What would be the appropriate maintenance management system that can be adopted by the port? Port ni maksud dia port lah Kan kita ada JT, port, harbor kan. To keep facilities running. Okay, jawapan dia 5 marks. Kawan awak cakap preventive maintenance dengan maintenance record system. Okay, jawapan dia salah. Sebab apa salah? Preventive maintenance program ni adalah, yang ni jawapan kalau number 1 ni, kenapa saya kata salah? Preventive maintenance program ni yang nombor 1 tadi. Soalan nombor tadi. Common maintenance strategy tadi. Yang nombor 1 ni adalah jawapan bagi soalan nombor 1. Yang tu kalau awak letak this one, letak nombor 1 tadi betul. Tu yang pertama. Kenapa nombor 1 salah? Nombor 2, maintenance record system ni, dia tak cukup. Kenapa? Nombor 2 ni, nombor ni dia tak salah tapi nombor ni tak cukup. Apa maksud tak cukup? Maintenance management system ni, awak kena salah satu dia maintenance record. Salah satu. Tapi dia bukan maintenance record saja. Dia maintenance record, buka naik atas. Ni yang dekat atas tadi, yang siapa yang explain panjang tadi. Buka dekat atas. Sabrina ke tak silap saya? Atas sikit. Ni. Awak kena explain 3 benda ni. Maintenance manual, maintenance program dengan record system. Ataupun record lah. Yang ni maksud dia management system. That's why saya kata soalan nombor 2 tadi, dia salah lah. Sebab nombor 1 jawapan dia awak letak preventive kan. Proactive. Yang tu adalah common strategi. Maintenance strategi, tapi dia nak sistem. Kalau sistem kena explain 3 ni. Manual, maintenance program dengan maintenance record. 3 benda ni nak jawab dia. Kawan awak bagi maintenance record kan? Sahaja. That's why saya kata maintenance record tu tak complete. Kena letak ni. Ingatlah student. Saya ulang balik. Kalau diminta management system, maintenance manual, maintenance program dengan record system. Kena explain dalam dia. Sebagai contoh, awak pergi maintenance manual. Next. Explain tentang maintenance manual ni. Apa maksud dengan maintenance manual? Purpose, explain sikit. Purpose ambil sikit. Content ambil sikit. Advantage ambil sikit. Dengar betul-betul lah. Keluar final exam ni. Nombor 2. Pergi pada next one. Lepas manual. Maintenance program. Program ni awak explain lah sikit. Types of maintenance. The first one awak explain dulu dia punya definition ataupun dia punya purpose. Kat sini ada. Ambil. Betul, boleh. Purpose, nombor 1. Lepas tu awak explain sikit dia punya types dia, program dia tu, annual maintenance, monthly maintenance, major maintenance. Okay, next. Bolehlah sekali dengan Kak, laju dah sampai record. Tak sampai record lagi, Kak. Dekat sini. Maintenance program tu awak boleh explain sekali dengan types of maintenance ni. Ada program. Routine maintenance, preventive, corrective, CBM tadi boleh. That's why saya kata jawapan nombor 2 tadi, B2 tadi, dia tak complete ataupun dia tak menyeluruh. Sebab nombor 1 tadi awak tulis apa? Proactive Proactive maintenance kan? Proactive maintenance ni sebahagian daripada maintenance system tadi. Preventive maintenance. Dia sebahagian daripada maintenance program. Jawapan dia bagi jawapan ni, dia kena ada apa yang pertama? Maintenance manual, maintenance apa? Apa? Oi, cakap lah. Maintenance program, lagi satu.
Record system.
Dia kena ada record. Pergi yang record pula. Manual, program. Record. Explain tentang record ni. Yang ni barulah panggil sistem. Baru panggil sistem. Faham Faham semua student-student ni? Ni jawapan bagi the answer for the questions number B2. B2. Okay, sebagai contoh, back to the questions tadi. B2. So, sir, dia tanya, dia nak management system, sir. So, ada 3, sir. Record, manual dengan program kan? Tapi markah dia 5 saja, sir. Tadi sir kata kena explain banyak. Kalau 5 saja, awak bagilah explain yang 3 tu. Awak bagi explain record, manual, program dengan record. Dah 3 kan? 3 point. Setiap point tu awak explain lah dia punya definition, dah cukup. Dapatlah markah 5. Unless, kalau markah jawapan ni, kalau jawapan ni jawapan ni pula. Kalau soalan ni, markah dia sampai 10, 15, 12, yang tu awak kena explain in detail tadi. Dia punya purpose, dia punya type, yang tu kalau markah dia sampai 10, 12. Boleh faham Okay, right. So, okay, yang ni tentang previous exam questions. Next, group ni pula apa nak buat? Quiz.
Quiz.
Quiz. Yes. Bukan lift.
Explain lah, saya tak tahu macam mana.
Sekejap
Okay.
Korang dah scan tadi ke? Sekejap. Check. Okay. Okay. Boleh scan kat situ.
Scan kat kit ni.
Hmm.
Scan. Saya kena tengok, make sure semua ada 24 student kan. Siapa yang tak masuk, tak join tu, saya tolak markah dia korang. So as usual, the highest student marks will get extra marks lah. Semua. Baru 5 orang, baru 6 orang.
Kita
Baru 16.
dah? Belum.
Belum lagi. Kan? 19. Semua dah cukup lah.
Belum.
Patutnya 24 kan? Kelas ni ada tadi, saya tengok.
24 tolak 4. Kita orang 4 orang.
Oh, yalah.
Okey, dah
Lupa
cukup.
pula. Belum. Betul. Okay. Okay, kalau ready.
Okay, dah Start
Okay. Dah ke semua? Oh, ada berapa soalan je? Ni kenapa saya keluar?
Semua dia siap ke?
Semua ada berapa
Dah.
soalan?
5 je.
Oh, 5 je. Tak banyak. Okey. Siapa? Dah. Saya nak check
Siapa
nama.
semua? Ada yang tak siap lagi? Sikit lagi.
Ada tak siap lagi? Okey, alright. Cepat-cepat. Ada 5 saja soalan.
Isan yang penyayang.
Siapa pula Izzat yang menyayang tu? Korang ni.
Okey, dah ke?
Siapa? The highest one, highest marks. Dah ke?
Wow.
Okey, tahniah.
Dah. Ini.
Congrats. We go. Siapa yang menang? Anne boleh tengok ke Anne?
N.
Anne.
Yay.
Aisyah, congrats. Aida, and then the highest one Nurin.
Nuri.
Nurin Mana Nurin ni? Tak ada pun nama awak. Nurin Wadiha. Okay, congrats Nurin. Okay, tahniah. So Nurin, saya take note. You got extra marks. Okay, tak apa, jangan risau. Kita ada our second presentations. Okay, thank you very much for this group. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, right. Thank you. Kita pergi pada the next second group. You may start your slides. Okay.
Assalamualaikum. Good morning to everyone. We are from Group 6. We will present about the
Awak duduk kat mana tu Ashraf? Saya kali duduk bunyi burung burung gagak luar rumah awak duduk bunyi je tu. Cik gurau je. Duk tak balik lagi ke college?
saya kat rumah.
Okey proceed dengan jelas. Okey proceed.
Okay, sorry. Okay, we are from Group 6. We'll present the reliability centered maintenance for marine and civil engineering structure. Okay, next. This is
Hang ni tengok ni ke saya yang hang?
ni tak perlu.
Tadi mana group member? Alright.
Okay, this is our group members. Me Ashraf, Ain Izzati, Shabira and Siti Aisyah. Okay, what is the RCM? Okay, firstly I will explain the definition of reliability center maintenance, RCM. RCM for marine and civil engineering structures is a structured and systematic process that focuses on identifying and prioritizing potential failure modes of these assets based on their functions and the consequences of failure within their specific operating context. It then determines the most effective and cost-efficient maintenance strategies, including condition monitoring, preventive actions, and run to failure decisions to preserve these functions, ensure safety, environmental protections, structural integrity, and optimize the life cycle cost of the infrastructure while adhering to relevant regulations and considering the unique challenge of these domains like harsh environment, accessibility, and long lifespans. Next. Okay, now the purpose of RCM. First, improve structural reliability. The RCM focus on maintaining the functions of critical equipment, minimizing unplanned downtime, and maximizing asset availability for productions to ensure that the structure can consistently perform as its intended functions. The second, lower maintenance costs. RCM helps to reduce costs by identifying and eliminating unnecessary maintenance activities, thereby reducing labor and material costs. Additionally, RCM preventing failures can avoid costly repairs and production losses. Lastly, the RCM can increase efficiency and safety. By maintaining structural reliability, RCM contributes to enhance workplace safety and the quality of products and service. RCM is fundamental methodology for ensuring the reliability, availability, and operational efficiency of industrial assets. By adopting a strategy based on knowledge, risk assessment, and advanced technologies, companies can maximize equipment performance and gain a competitive edge in the market. And now I will talk about the key principle of RCM. The key principle RCM including the system functions identification is defining the primary function of the structure within the offshore operations. Instead of maintaining equipment in its original state, the primary goal is to preserve the functions that the equipment is designed to perform within its specific operator context. This principle emphasizes understanding what each asset does rather than just what it is. Maintenance effort are then directed towards ensuring these functions are maintained. For the operating context, the same equipment in different contexts might have different critical functions and therefore require different maintenance strategies. For an offshore platform, the corrosive marine environment and continuous operation are key aspects of the operating context. Secondly, identification of failure modes. Once the critical functions are identified, then determine how those functions can be lost. This involves identifying all the credible failure modes that could prevent the asset from performing its intended functions. This involves the failure mode is the specific way in which an structure can fail. Example, for example, bearing failure, seal leakage, motor winding burnout. A tool failure mode and effect analysis or failure modes, effect and criticality analysis is often employed to systematically identify these potential failure modes. Consequence evaluation. RCM prioritize maintenance efforts based on the consequence of each potential failure. The consequence of failure are evaluated in terms of their impact on safety, environment, operations, and economics. This often involves a risk assessment matrix. The last, selection of maintenance tasks. For each significant failure mode, RCM aims to identify the most effective and cost-efficient maintenance tasks to prevent the failure from occurring or to mitigate its consequence. The selected maintenance tasks must be technically feasible to implement in the offshore environment, considering factors like accessibility, required skill, and available resources. I will pass to
Hello, boleh dengar tak? Okay. Okay. For this section, we focus on effectively identifying the maintenance need of assets using structured approach. First, we start with asset criticality assessment. This involves ranking each asset based on its impact on safety, operation continuity, and cost implication. We then categorize assets into critical, important, and non-critical. Next is the failure modes and effect analysis or FMEA. These steps identify potential ways an asset can fail. We apply FMEA to assess the risk and prioritize which failure modes needs proactive strategies. Lastly, we consider the operational context. This is about understanding the condition under which assets operate, things like usage pattern, environmental stress, and viability. This insight helps us tailor maintenance strategies for real-world effectiveness. Next. Okay, for the critical assessment, these steps helps us to decide which asset deserve the most attention. The first step is to identify the criticality element. Firstly, what is the impact on safety? Could the failure leads to harm or regulatory issues? Next, what is the operational impact? Would it cause bottlenecks or shutdowns? And the last one, what is the cost impact? That includes downtime, repairs, or replacement. For the second step, it is about evaluating and sorting assets. Each factor should be rated on scale of 1 to 5 and then combined to create an index of asset criticality. The goal here is to generate a rank list of assets so we can focus on maintenance resources where they will make the most difference. Next. Okay, here we can see the example of asset critical assessment tool. Okay, so this table breaks down various assets like exhaust fans, pumps, and filter. Each asset is scored across different categories such as availability, performance, safety, environment, and reliability factors like MTBF and spare parts availability. There are also stakeholder impact ranking factored in along with business, regulatory, and maintenance perspective. These are the assigned weights to reflect the importance. And at the bottom, we can see that the business impact factor which define the failures, how the failures influence operation from minor to major system-wide impact. So the result is a calculated criticality ranking for each asset, helping the maintenance team to prioritize efforts where failure would be most costly or dangerous. Next. Next is the failure modes and effect analysis or FMEA. It is a structured approach to identify how a system, a process, or a component might fail and analyze the potential effect of those failure. A failure mode is the particular manner in which a system or component can malfunction. For instance, wear on bearings, leakage of seals, or electrical short circuits. So in FMEA, we aim to determine the possible cause of failure for every important asset, evaluate the impact and intensity, determine the risk priority number, RPN, by multiplying the severity of the occurrence and detectability. So this helps prioritize which failure modes need to be addressed first, allowing us to take proactive action to prevent them before they occur. Next. This is the FMEA sequence. Firstly, to select the component of the item for analysis, identify the failure modes of the selected component, choose one failure modes to analyze, determine the effect of that failure mode, evaluate the severity of the final effect, and lastly, identify the root cause of the failure. So after the sequence, we will estimate the likelihood of the failure happening during a certain period. And we will repeat this for all failure modes and all relevant components. Once everything has been reviewed, we complete the FMEA process. Next.
Okay, this is the case study applying reliability center maintenance RCM to gas turbine. Of the offshore platform X123, 500 gas turbines were integral to continuous power generation. Recognizing the critical roles this turbine play in operation, the maintenance team aimed to enhance their reliability by increasing the mean time between failures by 20% over the next 2 years. So a comprehensive FMEA was conducted for each critical component such as combustion chambers, compressor blades, turbine blades, and auxiliary sensors. So based on the FMEA findings, tailored maintenance strategies were developed, like implemented preventive maintenance, adapted condition-based maintenance using advanced vibration analysis, and employed a hybrid approach combining preventive and condition-based maintenance. Then opt for a monitored run to failure strategy. So for the outcomes, the RCM implementation yields significant benefits such as enhanced reliability. They achieve a 20% increase in MTBF, aligning with the set objective. Cost efficiency focus on maintenance effort on critical components, improve safety, proactive identification, mitigation of potential failures. Next. So this is the picture of turbine, gas turbine. Okay, next.
Okay, for the operational context, this means adjusting the maintenance plan to reflect how the asset is used. So we assess things like duty cycles, like is the equipment used continuously or intermittently, the operating condition, are the contaminants, high pressure or extreme temperatures, and external factors like location and weather. We can also customize the maintenance based on real-world usage trends, equipment history and age, and the specific performance requirement. This is important because even the identical equipment may need different maintenance strategies depending on how and where it is operated. Next. Okay, for the maintenance planning. Okay. Okay, for the task development, we begin. The main goal here is to define the right type of maintenance for each failure mode and asset. This is critical to ensure reliability and efficiency. We start by selecting type of maintenance. Firstly, the predictive maintenance is a condition-based using vibration, temperature, or oil analysis to monitor equipment health. For example, replacing a motor when a bearing vibration starts to increase. Next one is preventive maintenance is a time or usage base. For instance, lubricating bearings every 500 hours to reduce the likelihood of failure. Next is the corrective maintenance is used after a failure, but it's typically reserved for non-critical and low-impact system. And lastly, run to failure system is a deliberate choice to let the equipment run until failure suitable for only non-critical or easily replaceable item. So each decision is based on three criteria: the critical of the asset, the consequence of failure, and the cost effectiveness of this chosen strategy. Okay, next. Okay, for the research required, the goal here is to ensure all necessary input for task execution are identified and available. So this include manpower such as skilled technicians and all contractors, materials and tools such as spare parts and calibration gear, and accurate budget estimation, factoring labor, parts, and downtime. The output is a bill of material and task level resource allocation. Okay, on the right, we have documentation, which ensure we maintain a structured record of our maintenance strategy. So it starts with defining the task type, triggers, and frequency, and links them to specific failure modes. Next is the risk assessment address the operational and safety risks related to both failure scenarios and the maintenance itself. We also consider compliance with standards like ISO 5 and OSHA, along with the manufacturer guidelines and internal procedure. So lastly, all maintenance plans should be stored in CMMS and made easily accessible for planners, technicians, and auditors. I will pass to Ain.
Ya, saya. Hello. Ya. Okay. Okay, hi. My name is Nur Ain Zati. So now we are moving to maintenance scheduling. On a daily or weekly basis, carry out visual checks on the structure, drainage, and moving parts. Also record environmental data like weather. This simple step help catch early sign of trouble. Every month, clean off salt, debris, and marine growth, plus check for surface corrosion or cracks to prevent long-term damage. For every 6 months, inspect underwater parts using divers or ROV, and check core protection to make sure foundations are stable. For yearly, do a full inspection using tools to test concrete and steel for marine. Tak nampak eh? Okay. For yearly, do a full inspection using tools to test concrete and steel. For marine work, survey the seabed to check for erosion or changes around the structure. For every 3 to 5 years, do a deeper review overhauling key parts, renewing coatings, and checking the ground or foundation for settlement. And lastly, every 10 years, step back and review the whole maintenance plan. Look at past performance failures and decide if upgrades or strengthening are needed. Okay, next, execution and control. We start by planning the task based on the RC. We start by planning the task based on the RCM strategy, schedule inspection, cleanings, repairs, and replacement according to how critical each component is. A clear maintenance calendar is prepared and responsibility are assigned. For resource allocation, make sure all necessary tools, materials, and skilled personnel are available. This includes things like coatings, testing equipment, divers, and structural engineers. Third, execution of tasks. Tasks are carried out according to plan. Teams follow standard procedures and use checklists. For hard-to-reach areas like underwater component, use divers or remotely operated vehicle. All actions are recorded. And lastly, monitoring and data collection. While working, collect important data such as measurement, image, and environmental condition. This help track the condition of the structure over time and support future maintenance planning. Lastly, feedback and continuous improvement. Collect feedback from operations and maintenance. Gather input from inspection teams, engineers, and operators. Identify recurring issues, delays, or inefficiency regarding the structure. Second, analyze performance data. Review maintenance logs. Oh, sorry. For feedback and continuous improvement, collect feedback from operations and maintenance.
Kenapa Ain Izzati? Kejap.
Sorry. Okay. Lastly, feedback and continuous improvement. Collect feedback from operations and maintenance. Gather input from inspection teams, engineers, and operators. Identify recurring issues, delays, or inefficiency regarding the structure. Second, analyze performance data. Review maintenance logs, inspection reports, and asset condition ratings. Monitor KPI like failure rates, downtime, repair costs, and response time. Third, identify root causes of failures. Use root cause analysis (RCA) when significant defects or failure occur. Check if failure modes were missed or misjudged in the original RCM study. And lastly, update RCM strategy. Adjust task frequency based on real-world performance. For example, extend or shorten interval. Add or remove maintenance tasks where needed. I will pass back to Shamira. Sekejap. Sabar.
Okay. Okay. This is the past year question on June 2019. The question asks to explain on the followings, including its importance to the overall maintenance system for marine structure. One Phantom Banks Lighthouse in Pak Klang. So it was maintenance manual and maintenance record system. So the answer next. So for the maintenance manual, the first they want the explanation. It is a maintenance manual like a handbook or guide. It tells how to take care of the structure or what to do, when to do, and how to do it. So it includes steps for inspection, cleaning, repairs, and replacement. So why this important? It helps to make sure everyone follow the same procedure when doing maintenance, keep the structure safe and working properly over time, prevent mistake by giving clear instruction, which is important for all and historic structure like this lighthouse. It saves time and money and helps the new workers understand the system without needing long training. Next. Next. Okay, so for the maintenance record system, it is a system that can be digital or on a paper that keep tracks of all maintenance work done. It records things like what was fixed, when it was fixed, who did it, and what parts were used. So why it is important? Because it helps to know the history of maintenance so that can see what has been done and what has not. It is useful to plan future maintenance. If there is a problem, it is easier to trace the cause by looking at past record. It also keeps the structure in good condition and helps in making decisions. It also important for budgeting and reporting, especially for public or heritage structures like the lighthouse. Okay, that's all for us.
Okay, alright. For Q&A session, sorry, for previous other questions, you, yeah, ni June 2019, right? So explain the importance of overall maintenance system for structure, which is explain what is the bukan maintenance, importance ataupun advantage of manual maintenance manual and maintenance record. So the answer is, you go for the answer. Maintenance manual, I will explain. The first one is definition, the second one you explain on the importance. Okay, jawapan ni betul. Tapi kalau awak buat macam ni, saya bagi separuh je. Betul tapi separuh. Kenapa? Student kenapa? Kenapa? Anxiety, Aisyah, Syamira, Ashraf.
Sebab buat point.
Betul lah Syamira. Buat dalam bentuk point. Tak boleh lah dalam what is. Dia tak boleh in a questions mark. Dia tanya awak soalan dan awak reply balik what is soalan. Tak boleh lah. It must be in paragraph ataupun explanation lah. So explanation dia, the first one, number one, what is tu, you change to definitions. Number two, why it is important, you advantage or importance. And then the rest you need to explain. Don't do in point. That's why if you do like this, awak akan dapat separuh saja markah paling tinggi. Even though dia correct. Even though kalau awak buat in paragraph, boleh dapat full marks. Okay. So the next one, this one is maintenance manual. The second one, maintenance record. Same to this one. Okay, record. The first one, what is, you change to definitions and then you need to explain. And the second one, why it is important, you tukar kepada importance or advantages. Barulah you dapat full marks dia. Okay. Understand Take note Any questions? Ada quiz. You go for the quiz.
Ayon, bagi Mira share slide.
Aina kenapa tak buka kamera? Darwish tak buka kamera. You siapa? Ni Natasha ni tak nampak pun.
Kejap Okay. Scan yang ni.
How many questions ni? Soalan ni. Quiz ni.
5.
5. Okay, right. So we tengok siapa yang will get the highest marks.
Semua dah join ke?
Ada lagi seorang belum join. Tadi 20. Okay, alright.
Cukup kan? Okay, dah boleh start. Semua dah ni kan?
Ya.
Okay.
Dah.
Semua dah jawab.
Okay, Tania, Ana, second. Siapa ni? Tak ada nama saya, tak ada pun Zetalus ni.
Jatuh sorry, jatuh.
Riz ni siapa?
Saya.
Siapa saya nak tahu nama awak?
Farish.
Farish, okay, alright. So the first one is Farish.
Nombor 2 Zatul. Nombor
Nombor
3
dua, Zatul.
Ana.
Okay, alright. Congrats Farish Iskandar. Okay, alright. So, okay, let's stop. Okay, so sekarang ni I'm going to explain dekat awak. Okay. By today, okay, means that we all complete all the topics. Okay, kita complete semua topik. Saya share balik kemudian saya share balik. Okay, kalau you tengok kat sini, kita dah habis ke semua topik. Okay, which is coastal protection, we already done. Dredging, land reclamations, harbour, ports and jetty, offshore and onshore platforms, river works and channelizations, and then we have plant equipment maintenance, and then we have reliability center maintenance for marine structure. So I repeat over here, there are how many topics? Coastal protection 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are several main topics that will be asked during final exam nanti. Okay, final exam. So apa yang kita akan buat minggu depan? For this week, what you need to do is, dengar betul-betul, okay, you going to have a tutorials. Okay, so what are the question is, take note take note Salin, the first one you need to do December 2019, okay, QSM 562, QSM 562 December 2019, questions 1C. Questions 1C, which is discuss the maintenance management system which are carried out in port. Discuss the maintenance management system. Ada berapa tadi? First group tadi? Waktu first group present tadi, maintenance system ada berapa? Dia punya main dia. 3. Apa dia?
Maintenance manual, maintenance program, maintenance record system.
Ada manual program dengan record. Yang tu awak kena explain. Okay, this one is December 2019. The next questions. Awak pergi kepada July 2021. BQS 652 July 2021. You go for the questions 1C juga. Question is 1C. The question is discuss the maintenance management system which are to be carried out at the cruise passenger terminal in Westport, Pelabuhan Kelang. Okay, kalau tengok kat sini, discuss the maintenance management system juga. So, manual, program dengan record. So, dekat sini saya tanya korang, dah berapa dah pasal semester exam questions tanya tentang ni? Ada 2 dah dia tanya. 2 kali dah dia tanya. Untuk topik ni yang ni topik, saya nak tanya, yang ni adalah topik yang the first group tadi, which is maintenance for plant and equipment. Okay, settle. The next questions that you need to do is January 2018, QSM 562, sorry, 652, January 2018, which is question 1C juga. 1C, apa dia? Discuss the maintenance strategies that can be practices by Port Rotterdam. Strategi strategi ni ada dekat slide maintenance program tadi. Ataupun maintenance strategi ni. Ada kawan awak ada explain 5 tadi. Yang tu. Proactive, preventive, CBM, yang tu. Outsource maintenance, explain yang tu. Clear Okay, next one. We go for questions June 2018. QSM 652, June 2018. The question is you need to do questions part B, questions 3. Questions 3 yang ni. Ada. Discuss the following, explain the following types of crane used for marine project, a typical beach profile identifier for beach component, outsource and in-house maintenance, maintenance manual. Awak kena buat questions 3. Part B, questions number 3. Okay, next one. December 2019. Okay, December 2019. Tadi apa Tadi, soalan yang sama. Maintenance discuss.
Dah tadi.
Dah kan? Okay. Alright, yang ni benda yang sama. Dah. Next one is December 18. Ada kan? December 18 ada ke lagi? January 18? Belum. June 18, December 18. Okay, the next one December 2018. Okay, awak buat questions part B, 1B. 1B sahaja. I repeat, part B questions 1B, questions 1B. Explain advantage and disadvantages of 3 methods plant acquisition available and give 3 example of plant equipment commonly used for marine engineering. Okay, 1B. Okay. The next one, last questions. Okay, the last question is awak kena buat soalan yang soalan RCM tadi. Questions awak, kawan awak buat tadi kan, soalan yang group RCM berapa tadi? Berapa Jun 2019 ke? Group tadi.
Betul.
Buat questions Jun 2019 yang soalan tadi. Cuma kan saya kata, kawan awak explain in point, you need to do in paragraph and give example. Soalan tentang Reliability Center Maintenance RCM Jun 2019. Buat dalam apa, macam biasalah, buat dalam handwritten, jadikan dia PDF dan submit. Okay, submission date. Okay, your submission date is when? Submission date awak adalah hari Ahad, Sunday. Tapi bukan Ahad ni, saya bagi masa awak sehingga until 8 of June. Saya ulang balik, 8 of June before 5 PM. Ahad minggu depan tu, waktu awak nak masuk UiTM balik tu, Ahad tu sebelum pukul 5 petang. Yang tu paling last means that one is due date, our due date for submission tutorial. Yang tu kita punya submission date. Macam biasalah, you letak dalam you punya dalam kita punya Google Drive. Okay, next one saya nak share pada awak. We look over here. Okay, so kalau tengok kat sini presentation, if you look over here, tengok folder our Google Drive, presentation, jap. Harbour Port and Jetty, dredging, offshore and offshore, river. So kalau kita tengok yang ni, so nanti group yang tadi present dredging and reclamation, Harbour Port and Jetty, offshore and offshore, river letak tak? River dah ada ke belum? River dah ada, and then group yang present tadi, two groups, both group that had present, make sure you letak dalam kita punya Google Drive by today. By tengah hari ni, sebelum tengah hari ni. Okay, letak ni. And then nanti kalau tengok your latest tutorial, yang ni semua dah submit lah kalau tengok kat sini. Okay, so nanti awak jadikan this one will be, saya buat new folder. Yang ni akan jadi tutorial week apa? Week 9. Submit dalam ni before by Sunday 8 of June, 8 Jun. Okay, any questions? Ada soalan? Minggu depan, sir. Minggu depan kita nak buat apa, sir? Sir, waktu kita masuk kelas balik UiTM tu buat apa? Kita akan buat revision. Saya cakap awal, kita akan buat revision dan saya nak tengok you punya group assignment awak dah hantar ke? Belum kan? Belum lagi. Saya nak tengok progress group assignment awak lah. Group assignment. Okay. Any questions? So I repeat for the next week, okay, after mid semester break, we will do revisions, and then saya nak tengok your group assignment progress. Tolong bawa. Dalam tempoh apa? Dalam within 2 hours kelas kita tu.
Sir. Nak tanya kan 8 hari bulan tu, yang 9 hari bulan tu UiTM dah start balik
Kenapa pula?
9 hari.
Kenapa 9 tu? Okay.
Nak tanya je. 9 bulan start kelas kan?
9 berapa hari bulan?
Hari Isnin.
Hari Isnin start balik.
Okay.
San, betul tak? Kita punya kita punya lesson plan. 9 ke? Betul lah, kita cuti minggu depan kan? Minggu depan 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lah. Monday lah. Dekat ni. Okay, lagi? Any questions? So minggu depan nanti kita physical balik and then sorry, saya selit sikit for those yang have risk management dengan saya. Yang kelas saya risk management nanti kelas this week macam biasa face to face lah. Datang kelas macam biasa lah. Kita buat di kelas. Okay, alright lagi? Any question? So awak dah tahu dah buat tutorial. Kalau you have any question boleh tanya dalam WhatsApp group. Okay, kejap saya stop recording. Okay, so thank you very much for your time. If you have any question, boleh tanya WhatsApp group. Okay, kita jumpa after semester break. Okay, right? So thank you. Assalamualaikum.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Juga.
The recording has stopped.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.